Hi, Roger at Weathering Heights. This is the VELCO Weather Hazards number 4, and this is for an area of low pressure that'll track into the eastern Great Lakes and then weaken as it moves in and redevelop and form another area of low pressure, and that'll track into the Bay of Fundy, the Gulf of Maine, and lessening the winds for basically the northern areas of Vermont. However, central areas and especially southern areas of Vermont are targeted for downsloping winds. This will be in effect roughly about 3 o'clock in the morning on Sunday through about 3 p.m. in the afternoon. It does look like the strongest winds will be in the Taconics, the Route 7 corridor, and the parts of southern Vermont extending into especially Rutland County, starting to ease a little bit in velocities as you get into Addison County and into Chittenden County. Winds could be still gusting as high as 40 miles per hour in a few locations. Much further than that, however, it does look like the winds will be a little bit less intensity, but still be rather breezy conditions across all of the state of Vermont as the pressure gradient continues to tighten. Here's a quick loop. This is an area of low pressure tracking across portions of Ohio and then into the Lake Erie region, and you can see the pressure is still deepening at times. So it's holding its own here, and this is the pressure gradient that will be working its way into our neck of the woods here for early Sunday morning, with this VELCO weather alert most likely in effect. That'll be issued later on tonight. Latest European model shows the areas in green here with the stronger gusts making it into southern Vermont roughly by 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock Sunday morning. I think this will be starting to work in a little bit faster than that, and it does linger and spread further to the north, but up and down the signature of downsloping winds along the western slopes of the Green Mountains, a typical action here. Secondary area of low pressure develops and pulls away and releases or relieves a lot of the pressure gradient as things slacken by the time we get into late in the day on Sunday, especially into Sunday night. And looking at the, this would be 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. You can see the winds here. What we're looking for is wind speeds generally above 34 miles or 34 knots here, starting to approach 40 miles per hour. And you can see the northern tier areas of Pennsylvania, southern tier areas of New York affected by that point in time. This would be about 2100 by 9 o'clock. We're looking at 10 o'clock tonight, 11, 12, midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and so forth. By 5 o'clock, you're seeing a really strong signature across the southern Green Mountains and along the spine and some downsloping aspect. And looking at the rain shield moving in, it'll be accompanied by the rain shield. It does look like the heaviest precipitation will be tracking into southern sections of Vermont, but kind of slow. Looks like the very heaviest rains will hold off for a while. And we're starting to see the heavier rains right at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock, and so forth. We got moderate rainfall at that point in time. And looking at the wind gust potential modeled, this is the Storm Prediction Center WRF, and you can see in that darker green there, 30 to 35 knot gusts, and then you can see a little bit of an increase into the yellow there, 35 to 40, and occasionally a little bit of that browner color, 40 to 45. And you can see there that that does reach that, and that'll happen again during the early morning hours on Sunday, lasting into part of the day on Sunday. This is the NCAR ensemble forecast, looking at wind speeds at meters per second. So you get into the greens here, and that's roughly around 40 miles an hour. And you can see that very narrow strip here that will continue through the morning hours tomorrow, and then looks like it begins to abate in the afternoon. And last but not least, this is wind gust used by the NAM model, and you can see roughly about 5 o'clock. This would be 8 o'clock in the evening. This would be 11 o'clock, and then 2 o'clock, and then 4 o'clock. You start to see the wind gusts start to increase right through here. This would be 15Z, valid roughly about 11 o'clock in the morning, and these winds are greater than 42 knots. So some pretty good winds here, but it's mainly central and southern Vermont taking the most of it. That's it from here. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights.